M&Ms have returned. The green M&M got her boots back, but apparently is now a lesbian, maybe? And there's also a plus-sized, obese purple M&M, so we're going to cover that, of course.
We are gathered here today in remembrance of our beloved Spokescandies. Red, yellow, blue, Miss Green, orange, and Miss Brown. They touched all of our lives and stomachs in a way no one else ever could. I will never forget all of the laughs they brought or the void they filled in my stomach. The irreplaceable joy they brought to this world will never be forgotten. May they rest in pieces. Well, the Spokescandies went and got themselves canceled. We should have seen it coming. They've been too woke for way too long. The Spokescandies played a major role in the advertising industry, with their commercials being advertised all over the world. They are possibly one of the most recognizable mascots. They personally touched my life and many others, as we always got to see the funny M&Ms on TV. They became household names across the world. They became so popular that they were common talk on certain news stations, and it is this that would ultimately lead to their demise. I think in this time of change, we should take a look back at the history of our beloved Spokescandies, so that we can all appreciate the impact they had on the world. The year was 1954. The birds were chirping, the suburbs were sprawling, and the American dream was alive. Mars needed to advertise their candy, the snack that fueled the soldiers in World War II. But what could possibly capture the pure essence of the M&M? A commercial titled "Which Hand" would finally give us the answer. A simple black and white commercial, advertising plain, now called chocolate, and the new peanut M&Ms. In this commercial, we see a round M&M and a lifeguard's chair revealing a large M on its body. A peanut dives into a pool of chocolate and then also reveals a large M on its body, but this one is more oval shaped. These two M&Ms would evolve into the ones we know today as red and yellow. Some time would pass. The M&Ms slowly evolved. Not much, if anything, happened until 1994. Blue Sky Studios would be tasked with creating the first CGI M&M commercial. The commercial shows red and yellow interviewing celebrities about their favorite M&Ms, where they advertise how they melt in your mouth and not in your hands. A year later, Will Vinton created an ad titled Spokescandies, and he gave the M&M Spokescandies their more mature tone compared to other food mascots.
He thinks you're naked.
This would spark the many years of M&M commercials and advertising starring the Spokescandies. But who are the Spokescandies? Let's get to know them. First, there's Red, the original chocolate M&M. Red is the leader of the M&M bunch, or at least he likes to think so. He enjoys being in charge and calling the shots. Red is voiced by Billy West, but has also been voiced by Mel Blanc, Ian McKellen, and John Lovitz. Next we got Yellow, the peanut M&M, the yes man. He's a little shy, but he's all smiles. Who wouldn't want to be friends with him? Yellow was briefly voiced by John Goodman, before being voiced by the legendary J.K. Simmons. Blue is the cool one. He was created to advertise the almond M&M, and is somewhat of a ladies' man. He's voiced by both Rob Prout and Seth MacFarlane. Miss Green was the first female Spokescandy.
She is a sexy Spokescandy.
But we'll get more into that later. Miss Green is voiced by Cree Summer and Larissa Marie. Orange is the paranoid M&M. He's always scared that he's going to get eaten. He's been used to advertise pretzel M&Ms, but was originally the Spokescandy for crispy M&Ms. He is voiced by Eric Kirchberger. Last but not least is Miss Brown. She is a chocolate M&M and debuted during a commercial that aired during Super Bowl 46. She is voiced by Vanessa Williams, and according to the M&M's wiki, is the embodiment of gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. Now that we know all our Spokescandies, let's dive into some of their best commercials. A common theme of these commercials is that humans want to eat the Spokescandies. It's not entirely clear what is meant by eat because we never see the M&Ms get eaten. Now you're going to have to hear me out on this one, but just listen. It's almost implied that people wanting to eat is similar to sex for the M&Ms. They don't usually seem to want to get eaten, and believe me, I'm not going to get into that. We all know that eating can mean something else, but it's one commercial where Red just gives in that makes me believe that eating these Spokescandies might just mean something else. The Spokescandies don't shy away at all from making sexual jokes. In an ad called Freezer, Yellow comes out of the freezer and his M is smaller. Red then jokes about it being shrinkage.
It's called shrinkage.
You know what else shrinks when it's cold? I'm not gonna say it, but if you know, you know. The M&Ms also take off their shells in some commercials, so that they are naked. I don't know many other mascots that would ever be naked, but the M&Ms aren't afraid. The question is, why are the M&Ms sexualized? I believe it goes back to Will Vint, who originally made them more mature. The more mature Spokescandies appeal to older audiences, which then made the M&M company lean into it more. That's why we have dick jokes and naked M&Ms, because sex sells. M&M's has had many mascots over the years. While some of them we still know today, or at least we did until recently, here are a few that are now retired. The original green M&M, who advertised almond M&Ms, a briefly lived orange peanut M&M, and at one point they just decided to have a whole chocolate bar. But by far the most popular of these retired mascots would have to be the Swarmies. The Swarmies were advertising mini M&Ms. They appeared in many commercials for mini M&Ms, one of them even being a Ghostbusters parody. While mini M&Ms still exist, the Swarmies have not been used for advertising for quite some time. Speaking of that Ghostbusters commercial, the Spokescandies have also done their fair share of collaborations with popular media franchises. They did a Wizard of Oz and Godzilla parody, a commercial with the Geico Gecko and Camel, and now they've also collabed with NASCAR, Jurassic Park, Shrek, NBC, Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Guardians of the Galaxy, Transformers, The Addams Family, and Will and Grace. This just shows how huge M&Ms are and how popular these Spokescandies have become. They've worked with some of the biggest pieces of media, and they might never again. The Spokescandies have even had an impact on the gaming industry. There have been a multitude of video games that feature the M&M mascots. M&M's The Lost Formula released for Macintosh and Microsoft Windows. I feel like I played this one at some point for like 10 minutes at a friend's house before he played something much better. In this game, you play as Yellow as him and Red are leaving for vacation, but they left the minis in charge, which caused chaos in the M&M factory. M&M's Mini Madness, released for the Game Boy Color, and has been described as barely competent and too easy. M&M's Shell Shocked is just the Lost Formula, but for PlayStation. M&M's Kart Racing was made for the Nintendo DS and Wii, but did not get good reviews. M&M's Adventure 2008 released for Nintendo DS and Wii. In this game, Red, Yellow, and Green must stop the system error and save the factory. M&M's Beach Party released for the Wii. You play against other M&Ms in Kayak Race, Volleyball, Mr. Runch Slam, Skee Ball Race, Ring Toss, and Colornator. M&M's Blast released for Game Boy Advance. And to sum it up, it's basically just Mario Party. M&M's Break 'Em released for the DS. While none of these games got particularly good reviews, they still had an impact, and it shows the reach of these characters. I can't name any other food mascots who have a multitude of video games about them. I think we should now look at some of the classics, at least in my opinion. And I'll just let you guys watch these ones.
This is your mission.
No, this is an envelope.
We're all gonna die!
I don't know anything.
Do you think I'm an idiot? Really? This is the most important scene and your cell phone rings? Huh. This is why we don't make movies. Why is it still counting?
I can't count how many times I've seen this one. If you have gone to the movies in the past 5 years, you've surely seen it. What would we do if the M&Ms didn't remind us to silence our cell phones? I guess we're gonna have to find out.
Ow!
So you think Santa will like these red and green M&Ms?
I don't know. I never met the guy. He does exist!
They do exist. Santa?
Nothing says Christmas more than red and yellow running into good old Santa Claus. This commercial really brings holiday cheer to all and makes you get into that Christmas spirit. But have you ever wondered what Donald Trump says? He surely says a lot. But I'll let red and yellow tell you.
You know, we really do look better in color.
Ooh, if we hadn't gotten our collar back, Trump would have, what's that thing Trump is always saying?
Sayonara.
No, he says it all the time.
Adios.
No.
You're fried.
Close.
Take a hike.
No, those words you hate to hear.
It's not you, it's me.
If I had a nickel for every time the M&Ms were involved with a right-wing political figure, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. Now, of course, this commercial was made long before Trump was president, but that honestly makes it funnier to watch now. Now, the other right-wing political figure. I'm sure you all know who he is. Tucker Carlson. He went and got the Spokescandies canceled. Which is pretty ironic, knowing how much he despises cancel culture. It seems like it started around a year ago with this clip.
M&Ms were pushing intolerance, but they've been changed. You're seeing the changes right now on your screen. The green M&M, you will notice, is no longer wearing sexy boots. Now she's wearing sensible sneakers. Why the change? Well, according to M&M's, quote, we all win when we see more women in leading roles, because leading women do not wear sexy boots. Leading women wear frumpy shoes. The frumpier, the better. That's the rule. The other big change is that the brown M&M has, quote, transitioned from high stilettos to lower block heels. Also less sexy. That's progress. M&Ms will not be satisfied until every last cartoon character is deeply unappealing and totally androgynous. Until the moment you wouldn't want to have a drink with any one of them. That's the goal. When you're totally turned off, we've achieved equity. They've won. Meanwhile, in a nod to the burgeoning wellness movement, the orange M&M will, quote, acknowledge and embrace his anxiety. And actually, if you look at him, the orange M&M does appear very anxious. Maybe he doesn't like all the ugly new shoes he sees around him. Maybe he liked the sexy boots. Maybe the orange M&M is a secret sexist himself.
Tucker could not stand that they would ever change the Spokescandies. They are supposed to be sexy, according to him. But I'll go back to Will Vinton, who wanted to make them mature. Mature doesn't mean sexy. It can, and it did for a while. But times change. M&M shifted the Spokescandies to be woke, according to Tucker Carlson. Now I would call it being more inclusive, but to each their own. I remember being on vacation with my friends, laughing at Tucker when we went to the M&M store because Miss Green didn't turn him on anymore. That seemed to be where it would end. Tucker would do his thing, people would laugh, and then forget. But Tucker did not forget. It was earlier this year where this iconic Tucker Carlson segment of Woke M&Ms occurred.
Woke M&Ms have returned. The green M&M got her boots back, but apparently is now a lesbian, maybe? And there's also a plus-sized, obese purple M&M. So we're going to cover that, of course.
He got what he wanted. Miss Green got her sexy go-go boots back. You think that would make him happy, but she is apparently a lesbian now, because when two girls are touching, they must be lesbians. They can't just be friends. That's impossible. And that brings us to purple, the newest and shortest lived Spokescandy. Purple never even got to appear in anything. They're apparently plus-sized or obese, but they're pretty similar size to both yellow and blue. So I don't know what it is. M&M's just got too woke for Tucker Carlson, and M&M's gave in. On January 23rd, 2023, M&M's announced that the Spokescandies would go on indefinite pause. They would be replaced by spokesperson Maya Rudolph. A good choice, a popular, non-controversial person. But I think a huge opportunity was missed here. If the Spokescandies really had to go away, they should have replaced them with everyone's favorite rapper, Eminem.
That's an awfully hot coffee pot.
Come on. Too easy. But alas, the Spokescandies are gone. The Spokescandies served a critical role in the development of popular culture in the internet. With how memorable their commercials are and how far the Spokescandies reached, millions of households across the world enjoy M&Ms because of the beloved Spokescandies. They lost a culture war. That's all it was. They did nothing wrong. Some people are just stuck in the past and can't change with the times. The Spokescandies tried to change with us, but people got frustrated. Instead of going back, they just killed them. They're gone. I just can't believe it. But who knows? Maybe someday we'll get to see everyone's favorite Spokescandies again. But for now, they are gone, but not forgotten.
Woke M&Ms have returned. The green M&M got her boots back, but apparently is now a lesbian, maybe? And there's also a plus-sized, obese purple M&M. So we're going to cover that, of course.